Yo, what's up? I'm going to be making outlines today, so that should be interesting. The problem I'm having is that it doesn't make sense to new players when they've got matches, so I'm going to try to fix that, as well as there's some cases when I have like a bomb and I increase the space of it, like the area that the bomb explodes. It's not visually updating. And previously I just had like an image that I would add that would fix it, but it wasn't dynamic, so I think I'm going to add that. I was going to do it with splines, but then when you try to figure out what the math to hit all the corners is and everything, it seems like it's going to take me a while to get it working, and then even then, I'm not sure if splines is the way I want to do it, so I'm going to do it with a system I've used for a few years that does like a auto tile type of thing. I'm just going to grab that from another project. Yep. One sec. I have to import another package or two. But that's what I'm going to try to do today. How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. Might need to get some water. I'm thirsty. So I'm just looking through an old project to see if I can find this stuff and grab it. Assets, scripts. Yeah, I get this sprite wave thing. Unity, move to wisdom miner, assets. Paste. Alright, so it looks like I've got blob map. Form data iWave. Let's see. Let's see if we got some errors. Today's going to be hot in Portland, it looks like. Luckily we have air conditioning, but hopefully my computer doesn't start overheating. We'll see. By overheating, I mean making a lot of noise. It might need to restart Unity. It's taking a long time to import. I'd like to do some streams later once I get kind of this basic stuff done, where people get to give me some ideas for tools and customers. So rules of the game, different type of matching, and tools to manipulate the board. I think that would be fun. It'd also be a good test of the systems to see how well they're working. Okay, it's in. Now the question is, can I import new stuff? Let's see. How do we do this? Data. I might have to modify this quite a bit. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I want to handle the general auto tiling. I think previously I had like each block handle itself in a way. So we'll just have to look into that. Data. Did I create an auto tile? I don't think I did. Create folder, auto tile. Okay, in here it's basically a dictionary of things. I think that thing gets generated dynamically from the blob map, if I recall. Yeah, so this is basically giving you like all the indexes of all of these, you know, numbers, which are basically a neighbor count. It goes around in each spot in the grid around it, gets assigned a number, and it's binary. So if you add all the numbers together, you know, 2, 4, 8, 16, all that stuff, you end up with a unique number. Then you can take that unique number and find out exactly which image that you need. And I think this is like 64. What is this? 6 times 6. Yeah, that's not 64, but there's a bunch of different possibilities, and that can determine rotation and all that. So it says create sprite map, or clear sprite map, and then build form. So I think what I need to do is I basically need to give the form data, which is this thing in there. Then I need to give it a texture. Texture 2D, so now I need to go find a texture 2D. Maybe I'll grab something, and I'll start with something that's been built before, just to get a start and look at what it looks like. Grab something from here. Assets, resources. Yeah, it doesn't look right. There would be a good one. This isn't right. Where would I put that data, maybe? I like to shake my leg a lot. Let me know if that's jiggling the camera too much. I can try to cut it out. We'll see how well that works. No map, no. Okay. Might just have to load this up real quick and just see where it's referenced. I just wanna, this isn't gonna be the right auto tile map that I want, but it'll at least give me a start. To see if it's properly loading it up and all that, and then all I have to do is basically give it all its neighbors, and then it should give me the right tile, and that will create an outline. Outlines are a little weird because you kind of want, like, you want rounded edges, you want it to look good, and there's just so many variations. If you're trying to outline like any shaped tile. Okay, so we got a data. Node map, noise, this doesn't look right, map layout. Here's one. What does this have to be? I think it has to do read write, if I believe. No, that's unenabled, so I don't know. I like seeing one there, but I don't see. I don't see the other ones. It should be under resources. Okay. Maybe I'll do a search for tile and see if I can find it. Yeah, these are all tiles. Auto tile. It's like a sprite set from a different game. I can't use that one. Oh, well, here's one. Where is that? That's under map. Okay, sprites map. Yeah, so it's generated all these little pieces to it. I don't think this is the right one either. I don't know where the big tile is. Maybe I'll search for wave or something. No. Yeah, alright. I'll just use this for now and then I'll delete it. I'm not finding it easily. Show and Explorer. Copy. Come back down. Kind of feel like streaming is something that I should do. I gotta learn to talk, to nobody, I guess. I do not talk well in front of people. I forget my own name. It's not great. But practice makes perfect. Okay, so I'll just go for now. Alright, one sec. Okay, I got the auto tile. Let's see if this works, at least to generate the tile. So the idea is that I want to have a system that will take this big auto tile, here, and basically cut them up into little squares. So I don't have to do that. It's like, I've worked with artists before when you're doing these auto tile things, and it's really good to give them a map that shows every possible, direction, every possible sprite that could be used in any combination, and then handle the cutting up over on this side, on the code side, so that, just iteration is a lot faster. So I go to auto tiles, I pick the blob map, and then I pick the texture, which is this thing. Let's see if it's a build form. It says input string. Okay, I'll clear it. String was not in the correct format. Interesting. Okay, maybe I need to change the. Maybe I need to change something about it. Maybe maybe this needs to be set to different mode. I'm trying to read right on, see if that makes a difference. I don't know. Let's find out. string was not in the correct format. What does that mean? Okay, let's do load images, build form. Okay, let's see if this even is breaking it out properly. So this is all in editor mode, so, oh, wrong game. This is in editor mode, so you can do this while you're actually not running the game. And that's set up here, Unity editor. Let's see, run it. Did this stop somewhere? What's it got? It's got danger zone, auto tile, view 0. Why is it doing that? Huh. Maybe it's just the name that's a problem. Should try to figure out what that split's actually doing. The split is trying to split an underscore and grab the second thing. So in this case, this has got to be a boring stream, but this is for me, so I guess it's good enough. Any tips to make it more interesting, let me know. Should I only stream when I'm doing something interesting, or should I just stream when I'm, just developing? I don't know. So this is going to basically take out this and then return. I'm not sure why, it's been a long time since I looked at this code. I'm not sure why I'm slicing. It says you need in order to slice sprites, but using the number gets jumbled. Oh. Yeah. So I think this is probably just to get, if I want to slice multiple layers, maybe? Who's calling this? Sprites. Oh, it's a list of sprites. Yeah, I think this is the idea if I wanted to slice it and use different things. Like, want to do animations and have multiple sets of these auto sprites, stuff like that. And then it's doing a parse. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's just trying to get a number from this thing, it looks like, I believe. So I just rename this to like one. Will that work? Again, I'm just using this for a pretty simple thing. But outlines are, auto tiles are good for outlines. It gives you a lot of control over what the outline looks like. Gives you artist control. Okay, now I'm going to just go ahead and build it. What does it say now? Same problem. Need to order slice sprites, but using number gets jumbled when ordering by string number. Path of Exile, it's a good game. Real good game. So the file name is this. It's going to split on 0. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh. Now this is actually just splitting them all and giving the number for each of the sprites. It's probably going to rename them up here, I'm guessing. So I think the problem is that I don't want an underscore at all. I think I was confused. Definitely know I was confused. Data, auto tile, wild map. Try it again. Okay. And it's going to want to get the second one, which is auto tile X. I don't think that's right. Danger zone, auto tile. I think there's something going on here. It shouldn't be saying danger zone auto tile. I thought I removed that. Same problem, yeah. I think maybe I renamed the file, but not underneath it or something. Not the sub file, the subtexture name. Let's see. Anybody ever used auto tiles or solved the problem with any kind of outline stuff before? I mean, I've used like 3D outline highlight stuff. That's different. It's more shader work. I suppose you could do something similar, but you'd have to basically merge down the tile geometry into something like a mesh and then do that. What is going on here? Okay. So let's go back here. Yeah. Can I rename this or no? I can't. How do you rename something like that? Let's find out. How do you rename? What is this? This is a texture and this is the sprite. How to rename, talking to Google, under how to rename sprite name under texture in hierarchy. Indie. In project, no hierarchy project. Open the sprite editor, really? Oh. Okay. Save. Build form. No. Okay. Well, at least it's a new problem. No, it's not. Looks like it died in the same spot. It says index out of range. Get slice sprite order. Okay, I'll try again. That's a weird name. Odin Editor Blob Map. I like Odin. I use it to build, some, like this is a dictionary, but you can actually fill information in and serialize it, which is nice, but also being able to like get a list of drop downs for different classes that inherit for data is really nice. For instance, I might have a new, create a new buff, and then I want to go into the data and go into upgrades, but I want it to call a different class when it runs. And it just helps to make it easy to update, like create new upgrades, but also add new functionality to it in a pretty clean way. I don't like a lot of ifs and thens and elses. I'd rather the data that's just that you want to use it runs rather than creating this monolithic class. Well, this isn't gonna go. I'll just stop my. I think I might restart Unity. Let's see. It's acting slow. I haven't restarted it in a long time. Wait. So this guy is called Get Slice in Order. This is called here. Okay. And it creates an array of sprites. So this is slicing it. And it parses the code. Get slice in order. Load asset at path. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Here's what I was talking about. You have this like coal block, right? And it doesn't run any code. But like flint needs to, whenever you hit it, it needs to apply a tile effect, which lights other things on fire. That's for blocks. And so if it doesn't need it, you just don't add code. If it does need it, you just add it. So you don't need to go, if flint block, then use this. You just drop it down. And it's like tools are similar too, right? This drill uses drill. This uses felling axe code. Upgrades have requirements as well. So if you don't want to show this upgrade, you don't want to show that upgrade unless you have the tool. And so this allows it to do that check, that kind of stuff. I think it's just clean. to do it this way. Alrighty. Oh wait, index out of range. I'm guessing the problem is there's nothing to split now. Am I supposed to slice? I don't think I'm supposed to pre-slice this, am I? I thought it did it for me. Maybe this is like an old thing where you have to slice it. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I mean, like I said, I don't know what version of this is that it is. And it's just taking a while. I know I had a version that would just do it for me. Stop, please. Because this one here is basically loading all assets of texture path of sprite in order by that. I'll try it. I'll try slicing it, but it just has one. Alright, let's go to, maybe I'll add a note to this version. Open sprite editor, slice it. 1, 2, 3, here and here. Cell count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a 7. Doesn't sound right. Could be. Yeah, that's right. That looks right. Okay, so I went and sliced them. Okay, I guess you do have to slice it in this version. Okay, so I have that. So now the idea is if I get 0, I get that one, right? If I get 65, it's this one down here. I'd like to find like a simpler thing, but we'll see. Okay, so now I have them all loaded up. That's the form part of it. And this data here now has a dictionary that has basically all the things I would need, so I can do a quick lookup. Now I have to remember it. I have to figure out how I want to use it. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. Right back. What is the what is that? Is it better to stop the stream or keep it going? You gotta get a drink of water. I mean, obviously the best situation is to like take care of the water before you start, but what do you guys do? Okay. I got this stuff in here. That's the visual. This is the thing we're using, form data. And then there's some other thing I can do to figure out what to use. Trying to think about how I want to implement it. Maybe I'll do like a test. Maybe I'll run it.
Wisdom Minor.
Wisdom Minor.
Round 1.
And I'll create like maybe a little button here. Where I click it, and then if it, if I go through my logs and check to see if there's any lines, and if there are, then it'll highlight it. So maybe I'll add something to the customer to highlight, and then I can hit a button and it'll run through all of the customers and highlight if they have a highlight function. That's probably how I'll start. Then I'll figure out how I want to layer this on top for highlighting, and then I'll be able to do all the outlines that I want. The idea is when you're playing it, I want people to be able to visually tell when they've got a log, so instead of these being separate, it'll be a complete log, and I would might use auto tiles for that. I don't know, it's maybe overkill, but could certainly do it. It might make sense. I was thinking about having a wheel where if you have all the stone around the outside, but then you have like wood in the middle. If you have a customer, it'll like make that look like a wheel. That's kind of a cool idea. But for now, for bombs, I want the bomb highlighting. So like right here, you can see this highlighting. And it works okay. But if I ever had something where I wanted to extend this, I don't really like the idea of like writing a second highlight, although maybe that's probably the easiest way to do it, but I don't know. I feel like auto tiles would give me like a quicker solution to that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll go to my debug and I'll add a new one. I was doing some stuff with splines, but I think splines are going to be more difficult and probably not give me what I want. So I'll just create a new one. Public. No, that's not how I wanted to do it. Yeah. We'll test highlighting. Then I want to have a customer manager. A customer manager is going to be running customers. How do we do this? So process item from hopper, process item, process final async. So I'm going to go to process final. These are my customer. I'm going to add a new one called public virtual void highlight. Then I'll go back to the customer manager. Public void highlight. Highlight. So this will do nothing because nobody's overwriting what highlight does. But if I go over to my mill, override highlight. I don't need a base highlight. And now I need to figure out how this highlighting works. Here's the group. I'll just copy this and then delete the juice out of it. Who doesn't count? Yeah, I don't care about really any of this. Maybe not even I. I'm not doing any waiting because I'm not doing timing for this. It's just to highlight something. Okay, so this is just going to highlight it, and then I can test out that this code's working, and then I can worry about how I want to do the outline. I don't really care about any of this. Okay, so this should highlight it. So now if I go back to debug UI and say test highlighting, I'll say game.i.customermanager.highlight. I'll go to my, got some errors. Oh, don't need to wait. The awaitable thing is something that I switched over from using the task system, which is like an async method for like timing, and it didn't work with, the problem with using the tasks is they didn't work with WebGL, and I think WebGL is a good way of like sharing with people because they can play your game on the phone and stuff, and it's good to get feedback. So I had to go and switch the task system to the new Unity awaitable so it would work on WebGL, so I could share it on itch.io. Anyhow, that doesn't matter here because we're not doing timing stuff, you know. We're just highlighting. So let's see if we got any more errors. We do. Return true, I guess. True, I can do it. Do it for me, AI. Then I just need to hook up my debug button, add a new button, hook it up to that code. It's nice to have like a little debugger, you know, a little debug option, because it just makes like testing things a lot faster. Test highlighting, go in here, test highlights, highlights, and then you hook your button up to your new test highlighting. What did I call it? What did I call that? That's my son singing. It's beautiful, isn't it? Test highlighting. You know what? I don't need to return anything. That could be the problem. Sometimes public void test highlighting. God is good. Life is good. Thank you, Dad. You got me. Debug UI. Test highlighting. There it is. Okay. So now I can just check to see that everything's sort of linked up. And then
Wisdom Minor.
I can
Round 1.
1 sec. I'm streaming. What's up? No, it's okay.
Are you watching?
No. I can get something a little later. It's fine. There's nobody watching.
Should I watch?
Yeah, you can watch. I love you.
Love you.
Fantastic. Okay, so I go down here to this tiny debug. I should make this debug button a little bigger. Test ID. Okay, so that's calling it. Pretty easy. Now I have to figure out how to create like an outline. I mean, you know, the thing is you could outline 2 of these, but that wouldn't make sense. You really want them all to be outlined individually because that's how it's scoring, right? They only score horizontally for logs. It might make sense to do vertical too. I'm not sure if that's something that I want to have built in to the mill, or if that's something that I want to add later. We'll see. I'm trying to remember how I made this little highlighting here for this picture, and I think I just used MS Paint or something to create it. Okay, so now I gotta try to remember how I want to use this. I mean, it's designed. This auto tile system is designed to do like a lot more complex stuff than what I want to use it for, but because it can do a lot of things, you know, I might as well implement it because I might want it to do more complicated things, you know, in the future. Just to make things look nicer. You know, when coal gets together in a group, it might be nice if it looks like a big chunk of coal rather than individual little squares. So that's just what I'm thinking. I prefer to use something that does a lot, you know, of things that I might potentially do rather than doing a lot of different things. You know, it's nice to have a system that handles everything you need rather than lots of little systems that handle one-offs. Partially because you need to, when you're working on something for yourself, you really need to keep your motivation going, and for me that means, you know, making progress quickly. Which doesn't always mean that it's quick. Sometimes you take longer to be able to make it faster later, but. Alright, so the test highlight's going in the highlight, and now I have to figure out how I want to handle using the auto tile. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just maybe I'll add it to a block, add a new layer on the blocks. Maybe. I think let's see. Store UI. What are these things called? Blocks? Should I do a block or make a new grid? Probably blocks. Blocks have sprite render, right? I could just add a new layer to the block called highlight. I'll try that. Public, what are we using here? Block, oh, block display is doing it, okay. Let's go to block display. We got damage sprites. Yeah, I might have to move this around a little bit. Well, let's just do another sprite render. We already have the damage image, and we got the sprite. We got the block rendering. Add another one, and I'll call it outline. Outline render. think there's something like Sprite Wave or something. I can't remember what it is. Sprite Wave. Sprite Wave. What does Sprite Wave have in it? Let's look. Maybe there's an error or something. Build directional rules, get data, directional form, activate mask. I'm just gonna remember how I did this real quick. So then I go down here. Sprite Wave, let's see who's using it. So we got blob map, we got bound, we got form data. Who's actually using this? This is all just a calculation, I think. Convert to Sprite Wave test, calculate key, create. Who's using these? Octodirectional. Pretty much all I use with this thing. Auto tile chooser. Looks like somebody's blasting this with update tiles. They all come down. Then it goes to the location. There's a neighbor test. It's a lot of stuff. Neighbor self check. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. Neighbor check type. I don't think I need that. So what this is doing is it says it goes in and says get correct sprite from form, and this just grabs it directly from Sprite Wave. It gets the map. Interesting. Grabs the map and tells you what the location is, and then it sends in this function neighbor test. This isn't quite what I want though, because I don't want to like auto tile everything automatically. I want to auto tile certain things when they fit a rule. I guess I'll just grab this, and this was a valid neighbor. I'll probably grab these three functions and then modify them and bonk my head against it for a minute until it works. The idea is that once you get it running, you know, it sort of like automatically handles things for you. But it's built in a way that lets you define what the neighbor test is and everything, so it makes it more flexible, which is why it's not just a single call. You know, you might use dictionaries, or you might use lists, or all kinds of things to decide how you want to handle it, and every game's different, every system's different, so I think it was in block. Where is it? Block display. Update damage sprite. Okay, I'm popping 3 of these things in here. Get credits right from Wave. Who's using this though? This thing get map. It says form data, so I'm guessing that I need to have form data. Public form data, yeah. And this is the thing that gets generated from that, from the data that it gives out, like all the like, quick lookups and everything that's already been generated for this specific sprite. Get map is going to be different. This checks the position, and then it checks to see what the room is, and checks to see if it's a valid neighbor, and I'm guessing valid neighbor is just A, does it equal the same? The thing that's interesting though is the way I'm going to be using this for now is I'm just basically returning true. I wonder if I can just do that because I'm already giving it a list of the valid things that work. So I'm just going to say it's valid neighbor is just always true. You know, I'm giving it like a list of the logs already. I've already done the parsing to decide what I want to do. And then well, are we doing a returns all but empty room instances. Huh. I think I'll start with that. We don't actually have a room though. These are not rooms. The neighbor test is doing form ID, calculate get map. Where's get map? Did I remove this? So this is the block. I don't know if I want this on the block now that I think about it. Might be better to put it in the highlight code. Because otherwise this guy's like having him look all the time. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense in here. I think I'm going to keep so this gets the data from the form ID. Map is not what I'm using. Although I could just pass in a list of locations. Let's see what the highlight code is sending it. Highlight code, where are you? Mill customer. I'm just going to say block. This is just going through each one of the blocks in the group. What does the group have in it? It just has a list of blocks. Okay. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to go to the block display. I'm going to say get correct sprite or form. Who's actually calling this? Anybody? I'm just going to change it to set correct sprite. Correct highlight sprite. Void, public void. Then I'm going to say, instead of returning the sprite, I'm just going to set it to outline render dot sprite equals sprite. Not return anything. The neighbor test is checking. This looks like a 2D array of rooms. List. Look again what that is. The block groups are a list of why is block group down here in mail customer? It's like a weird place to put it. I think I need to move that. But it's a list of blocks. So block. I'm just going to call these blocks. Blocks. Does that work? Yeah, T array. We'll see. I thought that the calculator directional worked in more than just arrays. I thought there was a list version. Here, just T as array. Doesn't look like it. But I can convert if I need to, I'm sure. I think just 2 array does it, maybe. Block dot highlight. Block dot block display. Set correct highlight. Location is there's not like a position on this thing. Cell position. And I'll just send it logs. Group. Group.blocks. Cleanup time. What's the problem here? List could not be found. Okay. You can do it for me or no? Using what is that thing called? System.collections.generic. Unity, why do you keep losing your connection to me to fix my usings? Typer namespace room. I'm still using room. Neighbor test. Who's doing neighbor test right here? This decides whether it's true or false. And then it maps that to a number once it figures out all the neighbors. So it grabs the room and then it says is valid neighbor on the room. Okay. So it's a position in this group. The neighbor test is grabbing. As a function, it takes in a function t array and returns true or false. Okay, let's do block then. Then it grabs the block. Grabs a position from the x and y. I wonder if they're going to get outer, index outer range, out of range stuff here. We'll see. I don't know if they were using vector 2 ints. We'll find out. Maybe we are. I think we are. I don't think I need this. I think block display. Block. Okay, block display is here probably. Yep. I've still got errors, so it's not showing me the right spot. Block display. It's saying here. It's saying function t of array vector 2 int and bool. What's it saying here? What's the problem? It says method name expected. So this method name should get changed neighbor test. That's not a, yeah, that's just an array. Okay. I might have to turn it into an array. Arguments for this cannot be inferred from the usage. Try specifying type arguments explicitly. It It wants an XY array, doesn't it? I thought there was a list option here. T array. You want me to check it out? Alright, I'm going to check out some chirping. Don't pull on my legs when we're flying up the stairs, but we'll try. Love ya. Love ya. Getting some food. Apparently there's like birds in our chimney. Little baby birds. My wife is not particularly happy about this. But I think little baby birds are pretty cute. Started streaming 75 minutes ago. It's officially my longest stream ever. God is good. I'm eating some food, some interesting like empanada. It's like a beef, some kind of beef hot pocket thing. It's very beefy. Sometimes I think that like if you have beef but it's been grass fed, you know, it's like all natural. I always feel like it tastes weird, kind of gamey. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's just I'm used to eating processed beef, you know, so when they taste natural beef it tastes bad, but I don't know, what are your thoughts? How do people get started with streaming? How do you find other people that are like making roguelikes or like to watch people sit around and fix bugs? I assume that's a fairly small group of people. I was at Imladris, which is like a Christian game developer conference, and somebody said that by estimates, some estimates, there's only like 60,000 people in game development. That is a small amount of people. Maybe that's enough, but you know, there's 8 billion people in the world, I think. I wonder if my mic is working. That would be interesting if it did. Let me double check real quick. I'll unmute. Maybe that's enough, but yeah, seems like it's working. I think I'll stream for like 2 hours and then call it quits. Probably. Okay. The problem is, it could be a couple of things. The neighbor test is using an array of blocks. I thought there was like a converter that would convert into lists. Yeah, this one's an array. Takes a function of array, function of t, comes here, checks everything against these positions. And then it checks the corners, so it goes, looks at that, adds the bit mask in all the directions. Then the corner, and then it just returns a number, and that number is what we need. Check direction does here. It does look if it's out of bounds. How does it know if it's out of bounds? It checks the bounds of the array. Good enough. So I'm taking a list, and really I should probably just start it out as just an array, and then figure out how to convert that. See, that fixes that part. Yeah, I know. Can't convert from a list to an array. They're grouped up blocks. I guess it wouldn't make sense to just convert a list to an array. You'd have to define how that works. Does look like there's a to array option. Huh. But I'm not sure that it'll do what I want. I could try it. That to array. I don't like that my autocomplete isn't working. It's pretty annoying. Cannot convert block into block. Oh yeah, it's just a single dimensional array. Kind of odd. Come back to you. What's up, bud? Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Quick though.
Hey, Dad.
I'm in the middle of something. What's up, bud?
You want a sandwich?
A sandwich. What's that?
That's a sandwich. Kind of sandwich that you saw together so someone else can have a sandwich too.
Oh, really? So you split it in half?
Yeah.
I like it. That's clever.
Me and Mom can make one, but Mom doesn't understand. So maybe on Saturday we can make sandwiches for Mom and us.
That sounds fun.
Oh, ooh, that can be our breakfast. That can be our lunch. Ooh, with Mom.
That sounds great.
So we can make the lunch.
Can you close my door on your way out?
Okay.
Thanks, bud. What a great idea. Love ya.
Yeah, love you.
I don't want to turn that back into an array. I guess it would be more difficult if you had to check neighbors that way, but. Pretty sure I had an autoconverter at some point. Create octodirectional. This is an array. This is an array. Convert to sprite wave. What does that do? It just creates a new sprite wave and adds a sprite to it. This is pretty old code, but seems to still work pretty well. Okay. I've kind of moved away from arrays and gone to dictionaries for the most part, when it comes to like dealing with grid-based stuff, just because a lot of times when it comes to like pathfinding and range finding, a lot of times you're looking for like, if you have to go through a list all the time, it takes a long time because you have to like iterate all the way through it, when a lot of times you just need to like, you already know the position you need, you just want to know what's there. Dictionaries are way faster than sprites. I mean, than lists. By doing that. Alright. I don't have the mental capacity to do this right now. I think I probably should have eaten a long time ago. My window a little bit. A little lighter in here. Oh, that's better. Okay. Go to the mail customer. Got blocks. I think this one would be pretty easy to add to. I'll just do it for now. I'd like to create a converter that would do this better, but I'm just going to say block, comma, blocks equals so the idea is I want a two-dimensional array, and I want to insert things into it without knowing the length. Is that possible? Here's blocks.count and J, and then it grabs a block. It's grabbing a block from each one. I already have the I and the J. No, I just have the J. Blocks. We got a group block. Problem is, this is going to be like out of array, right? Out of range or something, because I don't think that arrays. I think you have to define the size of an array before you use it. Do plots. Equals new block. Block 0G. How do you, forget how you initialize a array, just like that? Something like that. Yeah. From data does not exist, really? Oh. The name room doesn't exist. I still have room in here? Block is used like a type. What? What do you mean? Am I using the wrong brackets or something? State, it seems right with the square brackets, from what I can tell. Maybe they should non-initialized or something. Block is a variable but used like a type. It said there again. You did it in the new. That's gonna be like a 0, 0 array though. Oh, am I just not setting it? Am I setting it? Yeah. I don't remember. I don't think that's a problem though. I think it's a... Yeah, that's a remote. How to visualize 2D array. Hmm.
Can I come in?
Sure thing, bud. What you got?
I want to show you a cool trick.
Okay. Whoa.
Spinning in my head.
That's pretty amazing.
And a funny joke.
Yeah, I like it.
A funny trick, huh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that trick.
Welcome, I just wanted to show you it. Did you like it?
It was great, thank you.
Are you gonna come out?
What's that?
Are you gonna come
No.
out?
No. Not much longer. How long have I been streaming? Looks like 101 minutes. Whoa. I know that's not very much if you're a streamer. It seems like people who want to make a living streaming, they have to be basically on this thing all the time. I think streaming is it's a pretty interesting thing. I think that people are really craving authenticity though. So what was the problem when I tried to create this as an array before? Oh, it was a one-dimensional array. That's right. Take this out. So it'll give me the same error. It says block is a variable but used like a type. I'm sure they're right. Oh. I see the problem. Capital. I think this is going to be a problem. Because it might be okay. I guess it depends on them. Okay, my gosh. You know, I need somebody else here to watch me so I can tell me when I'm making a really stupid mistake like that. What a waste of time. Have you ever done that before? sure if you've programmed you have many times, but it does make you feel like an idiot when you're doing it live, and then you have the extra stress of worried that there might be one person that sees it and be like, what's this guy doing? Okay. The problem here is it's saying that the name I does not exist. Oh, I have an IJ. Oh, so you're right. Let's just put a 0 in there. Okie doke. So I do not expect this to work first time. But
Wisdom Minor.
Wisdom Minor.
Round 1.
Yeah. So if I go down here and I say hot test tile, what the heck? Oh, we got some null reference exceptions. And blocks the display. Let's see what we got. So we got a form ID of 0. If I look inside here, you can see that we got, how many of these things do we have in here? We got 10 by 10. This one here was put in as 0, 2. Yeah. And then we got a 0. What's that second thing? Oh, that's default. And the form ID, and then they say form data is null. Okay. Alright, well the first thing I need to do is set the right thing to the block. I can tell that the data is not right. I think I need to actually clip I need to give it an array with real data, but for now, pick the only form data I got, and it's probably gonna, I mean, if it works, it'll give me like a
Wisdom Minor.
square.
Round 1.
Okay, give me another error. Same place. Didn't I restart it? I should expect to get it working. One of the things that's great about programming that I really like is that, you know, you work on something and you run into a bunch of problems, and then when you show it to somebody, it's like, it works. It's part of why I hate documentation and things where you do it the first time and there's no iteration, where you make a mistake and then it's just obviously made a mistake. That stuff stresses me out a lot. But I like the idea of coding and that you can try a bunch of things, figure it out, and then, you know, and once it works, you show people. They don't see the code, you know. Although I am proud of some of the code that I write, you know. It looks like it's doing the same problem. It looks like it's like block is not set up properly with the form data, so I don't know what the deal is. Looks like everything's in here. I think if I go down, it'll show me all of them. Yeah. I'll tell you how many there are in here. 47 items. Okay.
Wisdom Minor.
107
Round 1.
minutes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, sometimes it's a trick. If it doesn't work right away, you can just disable all your breakpoints. here, okay? Problem is, the sprite that comes out is this, and this. Oh, my outline render isn't set. Okay, well that's easy to fix. Just go down to my blocks. And set. Oh, and I have to create another one. So here's my mask. Here's my overlay for my brakes. I'm going to create another. No mask. Sprite render. That would be awesome if I could. I'll put this thing in here. Whoa. That's huge. Okay. We'll do none. It would be cool if I got this
Wisdom Minor.
then in this stream.
Round
I'd be
one.
Like, okay. Got it. I did what I said I was gonna do. What? Did I not set this up? Block. And anybody remember what Unity was like? Sprite none. Oh, okay, now I gotta do this. Before they had nested prefabs. It was a nightmare. I mean, you'd have to build
Wisdom
all your stuff
Minor.
where you had like these little, you had these little objects.
Round
and
one.
then they would spawn from resources what you wanted, instead of like actually just dragging the object and putting it in the scene. Okay, then I say test and I got 3 circles. Okay, so first thing I need to do is grab a block, get the size right, and then I need to get the array back in correctly. I'm just going to create a converter to just figure out what the bounds of all the objects are inside that list and convert it to an array, although that does seem I don't know, a little bit crazy. Whoop. That seemed a little bit crazy. Let's just say change it to 1. Ooh. Works pretty good. Okay, go back to my block, make this 1, go back. So I got it working.
Wisdom Minor.
It just doesn't have
Round
the right
one.
array. So I guess I'll do that. I think I can get that working. What I need to do mail customer, I'm going to take out the red highlight. I don't need that anymore for the highlighting. Like I said, eventually I'd like to make it so the log actually looks like a full log rather than highlighting, but outlining. But I think this kind of thing might be useful for other things, so I just kind of wanted to get it in and get it working. Alright, there's probably a better way to do it, but I think what I need to do is I need to go through all the blocks in this group. And I need to find out what the position of them is. All their sizes, and then create an array based on the biggest one. What's the best way to do that? Public block. I don't know if this is the best place to put it, but as array. For each block and blocks. If you know if there's some kind of thing that automatically does this, let me know. I wonder if I have a utility, something in utility to do this. We'll see. Convert list to vector 3 or to vector 2. Generate unique random number. Reflection from raycast. Get random enum, cardinal direction. I'll put it in here. Nah, yeah, I don't want to do that. So I don't actually, I'd have to throw a function in to figure out what that position is. I'll just do it here. X max equals 0. Y max equals 0. Block dot position, cell position. Dot x is greater than x max. Max, then I'll say x max equals that. Thank you, autocomplete. Do the same thing with y max. If anybody wants this auto, what do you call it? Auto tiler. Let me know. I'll be happy to send you a copy. Okay. So now that's max. Then I say block x blocks equals new my max. Do another for each, I guess. This does feel bad. And now I can do blocks. Gotta do for each. Can I just convert it here, or do I have to write it out myself? Yeah, I don't think I need to. can just say block.x, block.y equals block. Return blocks. What's the another one of these? Yeah. To array. Still need to move this block group out. It's got 18 references and it's in mill customer. Probably put it in block or something. And I'll go in here and I'll take any of this and I'll just say this is going through all of them, right? I guess that's right. Block cell position. I say blocks dot to array. Block dot to array. Oh, this isn't block group. Fine. And logs. I got the logs. Group dot to array. Okay. Wow, I'm not happy. It's not telling me what's wrong. Just gotta shut her down. Open it back up. So it can't use local variable blocks before it's declared. Okay, it doesn't see blocks. What? Did I name this blocks? Okay, that's a problem. And then something's wrong here. Oh. And that auto correct was not working for a while. We'll see. I think this is going to be close, if not fixed.
Wisdom Minor.
2 hours.
Round 1.
Alright. Let's see. Add array. Okay. Well, we got a problem here. Oh. X max. Don't they have do they have like dynamically sized arrays in? No, that wouldn't fix it anyway. It's like you need the positional data. Things need to know. You need to know
Wisdom
where things are
Minor.
related to each other.
Round 1.
What's the problem? Blocks array, block cell position X, block cell position Y. Y axis block cell position X, Y, these are right. So then you're getting an error because they're saying that this block is not the right size. New block in X max, Y max. I mean, I could just be sending this in as like without blocks, you know, I could send it as an array. It just says, you know, true or false, but for each block and blocks, there you go, and I set the position at the X and the Y. These are all saying if cell position X is greater than X max, then X max equals block cell position X. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Debug. Delete all breakpoints. Another one in here. Maybe that'll speed it up. Two hours. What's the problem, yo? Little breakpoints. Is it running again? Okay. Okay, we got 4 blocks. These blocks do not seem like they're in the right spot. They must have moved. I should probably rename them if they move. Okay, this block array is 6-2. 3, 2. Something going on. Okay. It shouldn't matter if that's null as long as the blocks array is not null. So this is you know what, maybe it's 0 indexing versus 1 indexing, I don't know. Add to watch. What? Not in scope. Okay, so this is a 3 and a 2. Which is true, that's going to be out because this block array is a 6-2. Well, that'll work. Block position is 3-2. This is a 6-2. 10. What's going on? There's index outside of the array, so this is coming in at a 2 and a 3, and the blocks array is 6, 2. I guess x max, y max, x is 3. Yeah, I guess it's minus 1. I don't know. I'll just add an extra buffer to it. Might need to actually go the other way around, but this should fix it. People, when you stream, do you like change the title?
Wisdom Minor.
Create the VOD, or what do you do?
Round 1.
I'm relatively confident. No. Did I stop it and start it again? What would this do?
Wisdom Minor. Round 1.
It didn't work. Okay. That worked. Let's not restarted it. That one didn't work. Okay, something's going on. This is where the error is. Okay, so the blocks array is 4, 2 on this one. This guy's going into 0, 1. They're all null, but I didn't think that should matter. You could initialize it by stuffing stuff in there, right? The 10? Yep, that works. This one's 1. You can see it 1, 1, and blocks array. I'll add watch. It's 4, 2, that should be fine. That should be fine. Three, 1 is fine. Oh, it's the next one. Okay, this one here is 0, 1. That should be fine. That should be fine. That should be fine. Okay, this one here is 4-2, and it's a 0-1. That should be fine. Again, fine. One of these is not going to be fine. 3, 4, 1, that's fine. What's that sound? Another branch falling down. Two, 1, 3, 1. Alright, that one's getting close. Should be fine though. 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. That one's not good. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna subtract 1 from these. It must be like a 1 indexed or something. And then I'm gonna take this out because I don't think that's necessary. But it looked like it had to do with the X being at the too far out. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't get any negative numbers, although
Wisdom Minor.
okay.
Round 1.
Let's see. No, still not working. There's something funky going on. This one worked and one of these other ones broke. Well, this one actually broke. Right here. Buffer both ends. I can see the negative one being a problem though.
Wisdom Minor. Round 1.
Huh. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. This guy here is not getting it picked up. And I think it's because the numbers are off from what we're expecting. It doesn't really matter how big the buffer is. Maybe it does.
Wisdom Minor. Round 1.
Okay. Taking a cell position of the current cell position of this guy. X and Y block. Problem looks to be that when we set the position of these blocks, where's the grid? Grid. Game grid, is that what it's called? We set the position of this, we are setting the position to be X and Y. Does it start at 0? IJ, yeah, it starts at 0.
Wisdom Minor. Round 1.
That's fine. And that's fine. That's not fine. So the problem is when it gets to the end of the array, but it shows the problem is here. So it appears that the issue is that I would think the issue would be the crawlers out here, and it's like, oh, there's nothing there, but it's not breaking where I would expect it to for there. Because I'm not actually looking at the grid in any of these cases, and maybe I should. Let's just highlight again. So I think it's the third one. Let's see. What? 1-3 blocks array? It's big, okay. Okay, next one. Why is the blocks array the same size every time? 8-3? Is this not getting changed? It's not. That's a problem. Okay, that's the problem, is this blocks group. So we got blocks group that's coming in from the logs. And the blocks group, there's logs, and then it rotates through all the block groups in logs. Logs a list of block groups, okay. Group.array, that seems right. I think the problem is this grid generating one of these for everybody. It doesn't really make sense that that's the case because we're just grabbing the group. We're going for each one of these, saying to array. Oh, this guy's going for each one. Let's get the logs. And then it says for each group in logs, there's group to array. Should be right. Alright, I'll fix this, but for right now I'm just going to change these to 10 and 10, and then I'll come back and figure out what's going on here. That should fix the problem. For now, it's just not as efficient.
Wisdom Minor. Round 1.
Okay, well, I need to change the highlighting code, but this will allow me at least so people visually can see which logs are going to get scored at the end. And we'll call it good. Well, thank you for joining me in my fiddling. I need a way to clear these when they move. Shouldn't be a problem. Alright, thank you everybody. Have a great day.